Mohamed Mounir is an environmental and natural resource management specialist with over 7 years of experience in agroecology, watershed restoration, rural livelihood development, climate adaptation, and community resilience. He is a certified agroecologist with extensive expertise in monitoring, evaluation, and data analysis. He also possesses a strong background in program implementation, stakeholder engagement, and knowledge management.
Greetings, everyone. I would like to see this opportunity to thank the Thrive Project for such a wonderful opportunity. I would like us to discuss about biosphere imbalance, water sanitation, pollution, and restoration. So the biosphere is the thin, fragile layer of life that surrounds our planet. It's constituted of air, land, water, and all living organisms in a single interconnected web. Today, we are going to explore how this delicate balance is threatened, and more importantly, how we can restore it. Our focus will be on 4 interconnected things: water, the element of life; sanitation, the bridge between health and dignity; pollution, degradation, the growing stain of modernity; and restoration, our path back to balance. These are not isolated issues. They are part of a big puzzle, because what happens in our rivers impact our forests, and what happens in our soils affect our seeds. Water is the bloodstream of the earth, cycling through the atmosphere, soil, plants, and animals in a continuous flow. Yet, over 2 billion of people live in water-stressed countries. Agriculture itself reduces 70% of the world's fresh water, yet a large portion of it is wasted through inefficiency. Climate change is intensifying drought, flood, and glacial melt. Meanwhile, aquifers, our underground life insurance, are being depleted faster than nature can replenish them. Access to clean water is a matter of survival, but also of justice, because the poorest communities are often hit hardest by water scarcity and contamination. So we must treat water as a scarce resource, not an infinite commodity. Sanitation is crucial for health, dignity, and environmental protection. Improved sanitation reduces diseases transmission, promote dignity, and help protect water resources and ecosystems. It is a fundamental human right, playing a key role in education, livelihood, and overall community well-being. Pollution is a byproduct of progress, but also a symptom of disconnection. We've engineered powerful systems for industrial, agricultural, and urban growth, but often fail to close the loop. As a result, we are flooding our biosphere with toxins, nitrate, plastic, heavy metals, pharmaceutical products, and more. Agriculture, for instance, leads to algae bloom, the oxidation of water bodies, killing of aquatic life, creating dead zones even in oceans. Our plastics, once hailed as a miracle material, now choking rivers and forming floating islands in our seas. Pollution disproportionately affects marginalized communities. That's environmental injustice, and it's time we address it with strong laws, better technology, and above all, empathy. If pollution is the wound, then degradation is the scar. Degradation is the long-term decline in the health, productivity of ecosystem. It shows up in many forms: soil erosion, deforestation, biodiversity collapse, desertification, coral bleaching, sanitized farmland. Over 75% of Earth's land area are already degraded, affecting the lives of more than 3 billion people. This isn't happening in some distant future. It is unfolding right now. Degradation begins when natural systems are overused or mismanaged, when forests are cleared faster than they regrow, when rivers are diverted onto the dry, when grassland and grazed bed. It is exacerbated by climate change, poverty, population pressure, and poor governance. Degradation is not just ecological, it is economic and social. It fuels food insecurity, forces migration, and deepens inequality. Restoration is about more than planting trees. It is about repairing relationships between people and nature, upstreams and downstreams, the past and the future. Restoration can mean reviving a dry-up wetland, rehabilitating a polluted river, or bringing agroecology back into degraded farms. It is science, yes, but also culture, community, and memory. Indigenous people have long known how to live in harmony with ecosystem, and their knowledge is crucial to restoration. The UN Decree on Ecosystem Restoration called this a generation-defining opportunity, and it is restoration reconnects us to the living systems we've neglected. It reminds us that healing is possible. So, how do we move from crisis to coherence? The answer lies in integration, recognizing that water, sanitation, pollution, and restoration are thread to one stepstone. Sanitation systems can be recycled. It can be circular, reusing waste to generate biogas or compost. Urban green infrastructure can filter water and absorb carbon. Integrated watershed management, for example, brings together upstream conservation, midstream agricultural practices, and downstream community needs. We need policies that connect dots across sectors and people who can use the whole picture. Youth, women, indigenous leaders, engineers, and ecologists must all be at the table because systemic problem needs systemic solutions. Now, we will pay more focus on a community-led restoration project in Western Cameroon, in the Mount Bamboutos, an initiative sponsored by the Green Environmental Fund together with the UN Environment under the technical supervision of the Ministry of Environment and Nature Protection in Cameroon, Rainforest Alliance, and a community-based organization, SEPDEL. So this is one of the 8 restoration initiatives that is being carried in this area. Let's have a brief overview about the Mount Bamboutos, which is a crucial water tower in Cameroon, supplying a significant portion of the country's water resources, particularly the Idea hydropower system. It is the second most important watershed in Cameroon and has suffered from severe environmental degradation due to deforestation, overgrazing, sustainable farming, and climate variability. These pressures have led to the drying up of springs, soil degradation, and biodiversity loss. In response to this, several initiatives have been taken to reverse the degradation trend. These initiatives ranging from farmlands, community forests, sacred forests, grasslands, forest reserve, and watershed. We will pay more attention to a community-led project to restore key spring sources using raffia, a native plant species that thrives in wetland areas and has hydrological, ecological, and socioeconomic value. These initiatives highlight the synergy between indigenous knowledge and ecological science. And so this spring is located in the west region of Cameroon on the Mount Bamboutos, and it is more specifically located in the Fongo-Tongo district. So to ensure sustainability, it was essential that survey on the plant species found within this area be made. And also, through literature review, the water need the quantity of water these plants need to thrive was evaluated. Vegetation survey were conducted to evaluate species density, canopy structure, and evapotranspiration rate using leaf area indices and soil moisture probes. In order to determine the health of this area, ordinate survey was made. And the ordinates are known to be highly sensitive to water quality and ecosystem integrity, making them effective for indicators of wetland health. During the pre-registration survey, site recorded only 3 tolerant species, like the Colopteris splendens and the Pantalan flavescens, indicating pollution and habitat degradation. Owing to local communities, which are the forerunners of this restoration initiative, it was crucial that their ownership be of key importance to this intervention. Through focus groups, village assemblies, and key informant interviews, communities identify raffia among 7 other species based on 15 traits important as the species of choice for restoration. It is culturally valued for palm wine and basketry, and ecologically known to thrive in wetland environments. So we shall discuss more on how this choice was made in the next slide. And also, water local users committees were established to ensure ongoing maintenance, rule enforcement, and equitable water access. Each committee included women and youth representatives, recognizing their role in water collection and community coherence. Governance bylaws were co-developed to reflect local norms and sustainability principles. The plant species proposed by these communities were acacia, the African cherry, locally called Pinus africanum, avocado, the bamboo, Eucalyptus robusta, ficus, grevillea, and raffia. And now, 15 criteria were used to choose these species. These criteria are availability, biodiversity support, carbon sequestration, cultural significance, economic benefits, growth rate, invasiveness, management of the species, medicinal benefit, native species, nutrient cycling, nutritional benefit, site adaptability, soil erosion control, and water requirement. So crossing these species with the criteria, we have this, and raffia was the species that ticked the most of the criteria. The green color here shows that the species is favorable for a specific criteria, and the red color shows that it is unfavorable. And so at the end of this, the community make a repertoire of how this raffia species is important to them. We can see the first line is much more the first picture is showing a bunch of raffia fruit that is being eaten and is also of commercial value. It's followed by wine gotten from this raffia that is known to be a drink for the wise in local settings within this area. And now also is followed by a form of protein that is very appetizing and is of high value to the community. And then now we use it in furniture establishment ranging from chairs, tomato basket, market basket, a whole set of furnitures, roofing, and even building an entire house. Now, we did a land use and soil recovery, and from this, agricultural land occupies 61% of this area, bare rock occupies 15%, tree cover 13%, shrubs and weed 11%. Speaking of the hydrological stories, a rigorous hydrological assessment was fundamental to understanding the prevailing situation. Discharge was measured at sources and downstream using flow meter, while piezometric data was collected through vertical electrical sounds to map groundwater levels, water quality parameters like pH, conductivity, or temperature, and turbidity were recorded. Soil texture, pH, organic matter, moisture content analysis, soil compaction, and acidity were done after raffia had already been selected as restoration species. So this was done in order to know how well raffia is adapted to this area, and also to define the best area where we will plant the raffia for it to have the greatest impact. So using the PQ WT, it shows that the source is supplied with water from a table fed by infiltration. The maximum depth of this water table is 32 meters. The drainage corridors are linked to a differential alteration of the rocks of the aquifer. This water table is exhaustible if infiltration were to decrease. So this will now highlight the importance of increasing infiltration in the area in order to continuously fit the water table. And besides, piezometric levels vary by location and seasonality. These variations have very little influence on the direction of groundwater flow. Piezometric levels of 0.5 meters to 5 meters strip around the flooded area of the stream, and 17 meters beyond 25 meters from the source. Having done all this, we came to this restoration area map, and we can see that the best way to restore the spring was to plant raffia within the area. So what are the outcomes and the impact of this project? The restoration effort yield tangible results. Over 3,000 raffia seedlings were planted across this area with a survival rate of 80% after 10 months. Local user committees are now effective managing water resources and maintenance activities. Community members, especially women, express great confidence in local governance. This initiative has strengthened ecological resilience while fostering inclusion development. This project underscores several key lessons. First, monitoring both biological and hydrological indicators provide a fuller picture of ecosystem health. Secondly, when communities choose species and meet governance, sustainability follows. Thirdly, inclusive participation, especially by women, builds legacy and shared responsibility. And finally, this model should be adapted and scaled to other regions with similar challenges, combining ecological insight with community engagement for long-lasting watershed recovery. And we invite donors, political makers, practitioners to invest in community-led nature-based solutions. This initiative shows that combining indigenous knowledge with ecological science deliver real impact by empowering local institutions, promoting biodiversity, and restoring essential water sources. We can achieve environmental resilience and social equity together. Let's take action and scale this model to every vulnerable watershed. Thank you for your kind attention.